Let's be real. Most guys don't lose a woman's interest because they're not good-looking enough, rich enough, or tall enough. The truth is, they kill attraction themselves, often without even realizing it. That's right.
It's not what you have.
What you do, Thad, either draws her closer or pushes hair away. And today, we're going to talk about 9 things men do that instantly destroy attraction. Things that make women feel turned off, bored, or even annoyed. And once that switch flips, it's almost impossible to come back from it. Welcome to the channel. This is where we have real talk about how to level up as a man. No fluff, no fakilfa nonsense, just practical advice that actually works. So if you're tired of guessing what went wrong with women, why that girl stopped texting back, why that date fizzled out, or why things felt good at first but suddenly went cold, pay close attention. This is the stuff no one tells you, but every man's hold. No, now, I'm not here to shame or blame anyone. We've all done some these things at some point. The difference is whether you keep making same mistakes or you wise up and stop sabotaging yourself. Because Onseo understand what kills attraction. You can stop doing it, and you'll notice women respond to you completely differently. So, as we go through this list, I want you to think honestly. Have I done this? And if the answer is yes, good. That means you can fix it. That means you can start showing up in a way that actually keeps her attracted to y'all long after that first conversation. Or date. Alright, let's dive in. This here are the 7 things a man should never do with women, unless you want to kill attraction on the spot. Stop trying to impress her. Stop trying to impress her. It backfires. Let's talk about something a lot of guys get wrong right from the start. Trying too hard to impress women? And I get it. You meet a woman you're into, and your first instinct is to prove yourself. Y'all want her to see that you're smart, successful, funny, whatever it is, y'all think will make her like you. So, you start talking about your achievements, dropping hints about your job, your car, your gym routine, or how well you're redoing in life. Or maybe you start overcompensating, offering to pay for everything, complimenting her too much, agreeing with everything she says. Here's the problem. When you try to impress a woman, you're actually showing her that you don't think you're enough as you are. You're signaling that you need her approval, that you're good. And the more you try to win her over, the less she feels that natural attraction. Because attraction isn't about convincing someone to like you, it's about being you and letting her choose. Picture this. You're out at a bar with a woman you really like. You're both having a good time, the conversation is flowing, but then you start talking about your promotion, at work, and not just casually, but in a way where you're clearly fishing for a reaction. Then you mention your new career and how hard you've been working at the gym. At first, she's polite. She nods, smiles, even says, "Oh, that's great." But slowly, the energy shifts. She seems a little less engaged, checks her phone, says she needs to use the restroom, and when she comes back, she's not quite theism. The spark is gone. What happened? You were so focused on impressing her that you stopped connecting with her. You weren't really listening, you were present. You turned the moment into a sales pitch, and no one is attracted to that. Women want to feel your confidence, not hear about it. They want to see that you're comfortable in your own skin. When you're relaxed, when you're not trying to sell yourself, that's when they actually feel drawn to you. So here's the key. Focus on the vibe between you and her, not on trying to prove anything. Be curious about her. Have fun. Share things about yourself, and they come up naturally, but don't force it. The more comfortable you are being yourself, the more she'll feel that, and the more attractive you'll be. Remember this. Attraction fades fast when a man tries too hard to impress. Keep it cool. Keep it real. Don't put her on a pedestal. 2. Don't put her on a pedestal. Here's some mething that ruins attraction fast. Putting a woman on a pedestal. A lot of men do this without realizing it. You meet a woman you like, and suddenly it's like she's some goddess who can do no wrong. You treat her like she's better than you, smarter, funnier, more valuable. And what happens? You end up acting nervous, overly nice, and you lose that natural masculine energy that actually draws women in. Look, it's normal to be excited when you meet a woman you're attracted to. But themament, You start acting like she's above you. You change the dynamic. You put yourself in a weaker position. And women can feel that. They won't respect it. They won't be drawn to it. Why? Because deep down women want to be with a man who sees himself as equal, not someone who feels lucky just to be in the same room with her. When you put her on a pedestal, you stop seeing her as a real person. Instead, you see an ideal. And that leads to all kinds of problems. You might ignore red flags because you're so focused on keeping her happy. You might tolerate bad behavior. You might bend over backwards to please her. And guess what? That's not attractive. That's not confident. That's needy. Another problem with putting a woman on a pedestal is that you start giving her all the power in the interaction. You wait for her to decide if you're good enough. You overthink everything you say and do. And before you know it, you're not leading the interaction anymore. You're just reacting to her. So, what's the better mindset? See her for who she really is, eh? Person, not a prize. She's not perfect. She's not better than you. She's just someone you're getting to know. And she should be earning your respect and interest, just like you're earning hers. That's how a healthy dynamic works. When you stop putting women on pedestals, everything gets easier. You feel more relaxed.
Nice.
You run out worried about saying the right thing all the time. You can tease her, challenge her, flirt with her naturally. And women love that because it shows. You see yourself as a man who has options. Amen, who knows his value. So remember, attraction doesn't grow when you treat a woman like a queen before she's even denied anything to deserve it. Keep things balanced. Keep your self-respect. That's what really makes you stand out. Never be too available. 3. Never be too available. One of the fastest ways to kill attraction is to always be available. Now, I'm not saying you should play hard to get or act like you don't care. That's fake and women can see through it. What I'm saying is when you make yourself too available, you send the wrong message. You make it seem like you don't have much going on in your life, and that's not attractive. Think about it. Women want a man who has a purpose, a man who has things he's working toward, a man who has a life that excites him. When you drop everything the moment she calls or texts, or when you're always free anytime she suggests plans, it doesn't show confidence or interest. It shows neediness. It shows that you're putting her ahead of your own priorities. And thought kills the challenge and the Mr. Rithit spark attraction in the first place. Here's another thing. When you're always available, it takes away the excitement. Part of what makes attraction grow is a little bit of tension, a little bit of wondering. If she knows, you'll say yes to anything, anytime. There's no tension, there's no anticipation. Without that, things get boring fast. Also, when you're too available, you risk losing respect. It sounds harsh, but it's true. Women don't respect a man who's always waiting around for them. They respect a man who has his own path, who fits them into his life when it makes sense. Not a man who arranges everything just to see them. It's not about playing games. It's about living your life and letting her be part of it, not the center of it. So, what do you do? Focus on your purpose. Keep working on your goals. Hang out with your friends. Hit the gym. Build the kind of life that makes you proud, and then invite her into it when the time is right. When you do that, not only do you become more attractive, but to also keep your self-respect. And that's key. Attraction is about balance. You want to show interest, but you also want to show that you have a life that matters to you, a life that keeps you focused and fulfilled. It's what women are drawn to. It's not a man who ways at their beck and call. Quit seeking her validation. Quit seeking her validation. If there's one thing that silently kills attraction, it's constantly seeking a woman's validation. This is when, without realizing it, you're always looking for her approval. You want her to like what you say. You want her to laugh at your jokes. You want her to tell you you're good enough. And because of that, you start adjusting your words, your actions, even your personality, just to get a reaction from her. Here's the problem. When you seek validation, you're giving away your power. You're putting the control of how you feel about yourself in her hands. Instead, off just being yourself and letting the connection happen naturally, you're performing. And the moment she senses that you're chasing her approval, The attraction fades because confidence is attractive. Needing her to tell you you're good enough is not the reason this kills attraction is that it makes the whole interaction feel one-sided. Instead of both of you getting to know each other, it starts to feel like you're trying to win her over, like she's the prize, and you're just hoping she picks you. That takes away the fun, the balance, and the respect that makes a real connection possible. Women want to be with a man who knows his worth, a man who is comfortable in his own skin, no matter who he's talking to. When you're constantly looking at her to see if she's impressed, or waiting for her to compliment you or reassure you, you're showing that you don't fully believe in your own value, and if you didn't believe in it, why should she? So how do you break this habit? Start by focusing on how you feel, not how she feels about you. Ask yourself, am I enjoying this conversation? Do I actually like her personality, or am I just focused on getting her to like me? When you shift your mindset like that, you stop chasing validation and start creating a real connection. Also, remind yourself that you don't need constant approval to know your worth. Your value isn't based on whether a woman is impressed by you. It's based on who you are, what you stand for, and how you carry yourself. The right women will see that, and they'll be drawn to it naturally. In the end, the more you stop chasing validation, the more confident and attractive you'll become, and the better your results with women will be. Don't overshare your feelings too soon. 5. Don't overshare your feelings too soon. There's nothing wrong with being open or expressing how you feel, but it matters. A mistake a lot of men make is sharing too much too soon. You meet a woman, you go on a date or two, and before you know you're pouring out all your emotions. You're telling her how much you like her, how special she is, how you haven't felt this way in a long time. And even though your intentions are good, it ends up killing the traction. Here's why. When you overshare your feelings early on, puts too much pressure on the situation. She doesn't really know you yet. And suddenly, she feels like she's responsible for how you feel. That calmed, overwhelming. Instead of enjoying the natural flow of getting to know each other, she's now thinking, whoa, is this moving too fast? Why is he so invested-ality? Picture this. You meet a woman, things are going well, and after just a couple of dates, you find yourself texting her constantly about how amazing she is.
Oh, you can't stop thinking about her and how much you're hoping.
This turns into something serious. First, she might appreciate the tension, but after a while, it can start to feel like you're trying to lock her down emotionally before there's even been time for real connection to grow. And that's where attraction starts to fade. The key is to let things build naturally. So when you give it time, when you let the connection unfold without forcing it, you create space for real attraction to grow. She gets to enjoy getting to know you without feeling like has to match your level of emotion right away. And that makes the whole thing feel lighter, fun, and exciting the way it should at the start. It's so important to remember that mystery is a powerful part of attraction. When you reveal everything you're feeling too quickly, you take that away. Part of who draws a woman in is wanting to learn more about you, to discover how you feel bit by bit. When you overshare, you remove that curiosity, that tension that keeps things interesting. So it's not about hiding your feelings or playing games. It's about pushing yourself. Let her see how you feel through your actions, through your presence, through the way you listen and connect. And when the time is right, those deeper conversations will mean a lot more because they'll come from a place of real connection. Not just early excitement. Stop agreeing with everything she says. 6. Stop agreeing with everything she says. One of the fastest ways to make a woman lose interest is to agree with the very thing she says. A lot of men do this because they think it will make her like them more. The idea is simple. Fu never disagree. There's no conflict in it. She'll see you as easygoing or supportive, but in reality, it has the positive effect. When you agree with a very thing, you come across as someone who has no opinions of his own, and that's not attractive. Women want to connect with a man who has his own mind, his own views, and his own sense of self. When you're always saying, yeah, totally, or I agree, even when you didn't really feel that way, she picks upon it. It feels fake. And instead, building attraction, it makes the interaction feel flat and boring. Rest thing. Attraction grows when there's a bit of tension, when there's some back and forth, when she feels like you can't lend her in a fun, respectful way. That doesn't mean you should argue, Justo. Argue, but it does mean you should be honest about what you think. If she saw she loves a certain movie and you didn't like it, it's okay to say, really, I couldn't get into it. If she shares an opinion and you see it differently, don't be afraid to say so. That's what makes the conversation real. That's what keeps it interesting. Another reasoning with everything kills attraction is because it makes it seem like you're trying too hard to please her. And when you do that, it looks like you're putting her above you, like her approval matters more than your own thoughts and feelings. Women respect men who can stand their ground in a calm, confident way. Not men who bend over backward to keep the peace all the time. And let's be honest, no one agrees with the very thing someone else says. When you pretend to, it's obvious. It actually creates distance, instead, off connection.
Authenticity.
Women want authenticity. They want to feel like they're talking to the real you, not a version of you that's trying to say whatever you think they want to hear. So, here's the bottom line. Be yourself. Speak your mind. Be respectful, of course, but don't be afraid to disagree. It shows confidence. It shows you're comfortable with who you are. And that's the kind of energy that builds attraction. It's not the energy of Eamon who agrees with everything. Just tog it along. Don't be afraid to challenge her, 7. Don't be afraid to challenge her. Here's the truth, and it's something a lot of men need. To hear if you're afraid to challenge a woman, you're holding yourself back, and you're wreckling attraction without even realizing it. Too many guys think thatchalanging a woman means being rude or combative, so they avoid it altogether. But that's not what we're talking about. Challenging a woman simply means standing firm in who you are, having standards, and not being scared to call things out when they don't sit right with you. Let's be honest. If you never challenge her, what does that say about you? It says you're more focused on keeping her happy at any cost than on being real. And that's not the energy of a confident man. That's the energy of a man who's afraid she leave if he speaks his mind. Think about that for a second. Is that the kind of man you want to be? A man who stays quiet just to avoid rocking the boat? Women actually respect and are attracted to men who can challenge them in a healthy way. That doesn't mean picking fights. It means shaving the strength to disagree when it's honest. It means setting boundaries needed. It means not letting bad behavior slide just because you're worried about losing her. If something bothers you, say it. If you feel she's crossing a line, call it out. You can do this in a calm, respectful way. And when you do, she'll respect you more for it because it shows self-respect. Here's where the constructive criticism comes in. If you're always trying to avoid conflict, or if you're scared to speak up because you think it'll ruin your chances, it's time to wake up. That mindset isn't helping you. It's making you come across as weak. And deep down, you probably feel it too. You might feel frustrated or like you're not buying yourself. And that's no way to build attraction or a real connection. So here's your challenge. Stop trying to play it safe all the time. Start showing goop as a man who's not afraid to stand his ground. Don't just nod along to Kiefer interested. Be real. Be the man who can flirt, tease, disagree, and still respect her. At the same time, that's the kind of man women are drawn to. That is kind of man who keeps attraction alive. Remember, a woman doesn't want a pushover? She wants a man who's confident enough to challenge her in a way that keeps things fun, interesting, and real. Be that man. Conclusions. So, there you have it. These are the things that kill attraction faster than you think. And the crazy part, most guys don't even realize they're doing it. They think they're being nice, respectful, or supportive. But what they are really doing is showing a lack of confidence, a lack of boundaries, and a lack of self-respect. And here's a thought that might sting a little. If you don't respect yourself first, no woman ever truly will. That is hard truth. But the good news, themament, you wake up to it, you can change it. It's not about being perfect or never making mistakes. We've all been there. What matters is that you start to see these patterns for what they are, and you do something about it. Start showing up as a man who knows his value, a man who doesn't need to prove himself, who isn't afraid to challenge a woman, who doesn't make her the center office. World, I want to hear from you. Have you caught yourself doing any of these things? What's been your biggest struggle when it comes to keeping attraction alive? Drop it in the comments. I'll be checking them and replying because I want this to be a space where we can all level up together. Thanks for watching, and remember, attraction isn't about tricks or lines. It's about being a man who stands strong in who he is.
Let's go.